Hello, guys and gals. It's me, Mudahar, and I just wanted to bring up some food for thought for the commentary community, that side of YouTube, right? And so this is just some food for thought. Now, we know Nick DeOrio, right? It's regarding Nick DeOrio and how, we have seen multiple times, okay, where Nick will go on his channel in a video, or it'll be in someone else's video, or it'll be in a live stream, where Nick will be in some Discord call with someone who's under heat, and then it will magically get released. For instance, right now, he's holding Mama Max's Discord call kind of over his head. He calls it leverage, right? Now, granted, the Mama Max call, everyone knew it was being recorded. So even Max knew it was being recorded. That's kind of one thing, right? But if we think back to, for instance, the John Swan thing, okay, Nick and John Swan and a couple other people, I think Augie were in the call, okay, and they're putting the heat on John Swan, and it seems that John Swan thought this was a private call. Nick has told people before, it's like, oh, I'm not going to release this. This is a private call. And so what happens? People don't really say this, right? People are obsessed with calling this person grifter, that person a grifter. But what do you call someone who will leak private information for the scoop, right? What do you call it? I mean, that seems kind of a grifty behavior to me. Now, most of the time I agree with the overall point that Nick makes in his videos, right? So, in a sense, I get some entertainment value out of it, right? I'd say most people get some entertainment value out of it. But the question is, why would you ever, if you're under any heat whatsoever, why would you ever get in a Discord call with Nick DeOrio, right? It also brings up the question of how could a person really trust Nick, right? He said on a live stream here a day or two ago, he was talking about, we're YouTubers, we're not like the moral arbiters of society or whatever. You may not be, right? As a YouTuber, you may not be a moral arbiter in society, but everyone should be living morally, right? I think most people agree that you shouldn't be going around snaking people. And Nick gets away with snaking people because usually the people he snakes are people who are under some heat. And most of the time, it's understandably so, those people that are under heat, right? They've gotten themselves into this situation. But it's still snaky behavior, you know. And so people, how could a person at the end of the day fully trust what they're getting from Nick, right? How could you put your trust into someone who is snaky, who does what they do in order to get the scoop, right? It's a little bit grifty behavior, grifty slash clout demon behavior. And so, like I say, he doesn't get heat for it because most of the time he does it in a situation where people hate the people that he's snaking them. But, in the whole grand scheme of things, in the context of Nick making videos, Nick saying that he's not the moral arbiter, you may not be, but you should still live morally. If you are not playing by any moral rules, how could you put your trust into what Nick really says, right? Some things you can verify, some things you may not necessarily be able to verify. And so people in the commentary community, right, they don't really want to talk about Nick. They don't want to call Nick out for anything like this because Nick does have some power. He does have some sway in this community. Now, I am definitely not like a leftist who is big on this, this person has the power over such and such, and this what they call it, whatever they call it, like dynamics, social dynamic, whatever the term they use is for this stuff, right? Um, he does have that ability to hold making a video over someone's head. Nick got in a spat with Tommy C. I don't know if many remember this a while back, where they got in a disagreement, and Nick threatened to make a video on Tommy. Okay, you can probably go find Tommy's video talking about that, right? And so this stuff happens, right? If you've got someone who is threatening with his channel just to kind of get over on someone that he doesn't like, he snakes people, he doesn't necessarily play by the moral playbook per se. I know he's moral to an extent, right? But the point being, I wouldn't necessarily put all my trust in this guy and what this guy says and the motives of this guy. What can we see about Nick's motives? Nick's motives are to get the scoop, to get the story, okay? And at the end of the day, he does this strategically in a way, and it makes him look good because he's getting the scoop on people that are under fire at the time. And most of the time, understandably so. Nick's done a lot of good videos and stuff. I agree a lot of the time with the points he makes in his videos, right? A lot of the time, but I just wanted to bring this up because Nick has, he's big in the community. He has a lot of connections. He's well respected, and for pretty well good reason. But it's not like he is some, it's not like Nick is someone that you couldn't question. It's not like someone where you don't have to be concerned about their motives. There are some people that you can that have built up their reputation, right? Who have built up this reputation of theirs to where, like, excuse me, have built up their reputation to where they have some trust, right? And with the things Nick has done, with the way he kind of acts, with some of the things he says, I don't think he is deserving of this trust. And if you are a YouTuber, especially a YouTuber in the space, or if you're a YouTuber in general, or if you're someone with some clout, the last thing you ever want to do is give some damning information to Nick over a call. He had Mama Max on his podcast a long time ago. Max lied to him. But, point is, he was ingratiated with Max. Then he turns. He was ingratiated with Tommy C. Then he turns. He was ingratiated with John Swan. Then he turns. And with the John Swan thing, sure, I get it in a way. But I just wanted to bring these points up, guys. I'm a big time lurker in this community. I guess now to some extent I'm a poster. But I just wanted to bring these things up as some food for thought. I don't know how people continuously find themselves in these Discord conversations with Nick just for them to get released later. Just for it all to come out and just for him to get the good video, just for him to get the clout off of it, just for him to get the money off of it, right? And so I'm sure he has other motives. I'm sure he also wants to make good videos, but he knows what makes a good video in that sense, And so, yeah, if you're in this community, do not ever give Nick DeOrio some information that makes you look bad in any sense, especially if it's in a private Discord conversation. So I'm going to try to improve the theatrics of my channel. I might try to get some stuff on the screen here pretty soon. Working on that, guys. And if anyone watched this, I appreciate it. I'm going to try to keep posting, man. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.